Sara Sharif's father has been scarred for life after a prison ambush in which his neck was slashed with a tuna can lid. Two inmates pounced on Urfan Sharif in his cell on New Year's Day at HMP Belmarsh. Just weeks into his 40-year sentence, the murderer was left in a critical condition, but is understood to have survived the brutal attempt on his life. Allegedly, the pair were actually sickened by his treatment of his daughter, a 10-year-old schoolgirl who was hooded, bitten, burnt, and eventually beaten to death during a campaign of abuse before her body was found with at least 71 injuries at the family's home in Woking. A prison source reportedly said the inmates believe the attack couldn't have happened to a more deserving guy. The prison service and the Met Police have confirmed officers are investigating an assault at Belmarsh on New Year's Day. A prison service spokesperson said it would be inappropriate to comment further whilst they investigate. Meanwhile, Scotland Yard said officers were probing an allegation that a prisoner was assaulted at Belmarsh, adding that the 43-year-old suffered non-threatening life injuries. Other inmates at the high security facility include Stephen Port, Delroy Grant and Danielle Hussain, who murdered two sisters in London. The report suggested the murderer suffered cuts to his neck and face and received medical treatment inside the prison. A prison source was quoted as saying Urfan was sliced up badly in his cell by two others who rushed in. It was planned and they used a makeshift weapon made from the lid of a tin of tuna. He was sliced in the neck and face and is still in healthcare and in a very bad way. He was lucky to survive and had stitches and will have scars as a permanent reminder of the attack. The guards tried to keep him safe because he obviously had a target on his back after the case was such big news. Something like this always is on the cards, and an attack was probably only a matter of time. Sharif has tried to keep his head down since coming into jail, but word quickly got round about who he was. Inmates were not happy that he was in there with them, and although the other prisoners are in for heinous crimes, a lot of them don't like people who attack kids. A lot of them are saying how it couldn't have happened to a more deserving guy. So during the trial, the court heard that the 10-year-old schoolgirl suffered unimaginable pain during more than 2 years of abuse and was ultimately tortured to death by her father, Urfan Sharif, and her stepmother, Bainish Batul. Mr. Justice Kavanagh began his sentencing remarks by describing the degree of cruelty shown towards Sara as inconceivable and jailed Sharif to a minimum of 40 years, Batul to 33 years, and Malik, her uncle, to 16 years in prison. He said Sharif was mainly responsible for Sara's attacks, whilst Batul and Malik had not shown any remorse. As he told the court, the poor child was battered with severe force again and again as she was treated as the family's servant despite her young age. Sharif and Batul were found guilty of murder last month, whilst her uncle Faisal Malik was convicted of causing or allowing a child's death. Sara was injured with a variety of weapons, including being scalded with boiling liquid when she was restrained, being beaten with a cricket bat, being hit with a metal pole broken off from a child's high chair, and being burned with an iron. The abuse, which for anyone else would be exceptional, had become normalized for this little girl, and you persuaded her that she deserved it. In his sentencing remarks, the judge told Batul, "You did nothing to protect Sara, but you could not be sure if she actively participated until the end." He said it was clear Sara was singled out amongst the children for this treatment. He said, "I have no doubt that you both cared much less for Sara because she was not Batul's natural child. She was treated as a skivvy in the family from a very young age." He said neither of you had any concern for the happiness or quality of life for this child. You treated her like she was worthless. The degree of cruelty involved was almost inconceivable. The pretext of homeschooling her was a ruse to cover up and continue the abuse. At the time she was being subjected to despicable abuse, she was also deprived of an education. She was made to wear a hijab to cover her bruises which were all over her body. Sara was brave, feisty and spirited child, and she wasn't as submissive as you wanted to be. I have no doubt that your ego and a sense of self-importance was boosted by your power over her. She wasn't badly behaved. She was a normal child. The beating started when she was 6 or 7. The judge described how Sara was so terrified by the violence she would throw up or wet herself before being punished. Speaking to Batul, the judge said, "Often when Sharif was at work, you would have called him home when you thought Sara was misbehaving to deal with it." Said to the father, "She wouldn't throw up because of the campaign of violence, and it is hard to contemplate. You punished her, Sharif, because of a physical reaction to your abuse." Justice Kavanagh said the house was too small for Sara's uncle Malik to be unaware of the abuse, saying he was preposterous and suggested otherwise. He said Sara's half-siblings would have also heard their father beat Sara. The judge said rarely had a jury at the Old Bailey had to endure such a case, and few cases can have been more terrible than the account of the despicable treatment of this poor child. He said that Sharif and Batul made her wear a hijab and put makeup on to cover her injuries, and the judge said of Sharif's confession to the killing midway through his trial, "You stated remorse was nothing more than a ploy." When she died, she had burn marks on her ankles, so it was likely she was tied up and boiling water poured on her ankles. This treatment is nothing short of gruesome. It must have been so painful, especially at the hands of her parents. He said the evil father responsible for the small child's head injuries, and the couple jointly inflicted the iron injuries on her buttocks. Sara had bite marks on her body which were carried out by Batul, who was complicit and comfortable with the abuse, the judge said. So this is how the guy, Urfan Sharif, originally got arrested after arriving on a flight from Dubai. So check this video out, guys, if you've not seen it before.
Mr. Malik, follow me, sir. Which one is your bag?
I don't have any bag.
You have no bag?
No.
Okay. We'll look overhead. Right, can you put your hands together? Your hands together like that, please. Yeah, I'll explain more outside, okay?
Sorry?
I'll explain more things outside, okay?
Thank you.
So you confirm no bag?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I promise we don't have any more bag.
Just confirm what seat he's in, mate. Just one in the middle, yeah.
What seat are you in front? Middle one.
Are you in the middle seat?
Sorry?
I felt the seat with my brother, but I was
Were you in the middle seat?
Yeah.
Just around the middle seat. Yeah. Just want to confirm bag. You're saying no bag.
No, we don't have.
Okay. But can you just check up in there for us, mate?
Step down a second.
if Rob comes
We are, yes. Are you okay just to swap over? Just yourself come with me, and if you go with my colleague over there, is that alright?
Do you want me to come here?
I suppose but if you got
Yeah. Where's immigration? But right, hold on to him. Yeah. Could you just confirm your name for me, please, sir?
Yeah, Urfan Sharif?
Sharif.
Yeah, Urfan Sharif.
Yes. Yeah. That's Urfan. Okay. So the time is 1947 hours. The body of Sara Sharif was discovered on the 10th of August 2023 on 6 Hammond Road in Horsell. On the injuries sustained by her and the investigation conducted, you are suspected of her murder. You are therefore arrested for murder of Sara Sharif. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something which you later rely on in court, and anything you do say may be given in evidence.
So guys, this is a new story coming in. Just want to say rest in peace, Sara Sharif. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.